Good morning and happy Friday, everyone. I just wanted to make sure everybody has a piece of paper and a number two pencil out. Now, a number two pencil is completely different than a mechanical pencil. We do not use mechanical pencils for drawing. Mechanical pencils are great for notes, great for math, great for other classes, but in this class, you need a number two pencil. The reason is because we shade with the number two pencil. The number two pencil has a point right here and it has a side, and we mainly draw with the side of the number two pencil. You're also going to need a pencil sharpener. Now, I supplied pencil sharpeners, little cheap ones, and pencils and a sketchbook and scratch paper to the front office. I also sat there for 3 hours as students picked up materials. And so there's no reason why you shouldn't have all of these materials ready to go every single day so you can draw with me. This is a beginning drawing class, so that's what we do. And we're going to be using the number two pencil. So yesterday we all wrote our name, the period, qualities of shading, and then we wrote value scale. We made a value scale. We used the side of our pencil and we lightly shaded neatly in between the boxes and gradually went darker and darker by moving our pencil in different ways. We also practiced sketching shapes by holding the pencil up in the air and practicing the motion before we committed. And you can go in different directions. So this was very scratcherly until I was happy with the shape of the circle. Then I wanted to do a sideways ellipse. So it's not perfectly straight, it's slightly tilted. And I practiced holding my pencil up in the air. We hold our pencil with 4 fingers on one side and our thumb on the other. When your pencil is further to the end, you draw lighter. When your pencil is close, your hand is closer to the end of the pencil, it's going to be darker. When I go dark, I like to kind of hold in the middle and use my pointer finger to apply pressure. So those are the techniques and things we practiced yesterday. We shaded in a value number 5 here for the cast shadow. We labeled cast shadow. And we put an arrow. So we're taking visual notes, written notes. I'm talking to you with audio, and we are also using writing. We're using all the techniques for learning here. So that's really, really important. So the next thing that we are going to work on is a light bulb. I'm looking at my notes from the presentation. And so you're following along with me. I'm kind of following along with my slideshow so I don't forget anything. So what I would like for you to do is draw with me in a sideways ellipse in the corner of your square right here. And then when you're done with that, you are gonna draw a happy face like this. It's a light bulb. I'm gonna put some rays on our light bulb. When you're done, please give me a yes response in the poll questions, please. I just don't want to go too fast. Yes, we will be photographing this. It looks like we're waiting on 15 people, really? Make sure you select yes when you're done because I'm waiting on you guys. Or maybe they got up and walked away and they're not participating. You know, you could show up every day and be marked here, but if you're not doing the work, you're going to fail the class. Okay, we have a good amount of people done. So the next thing we're going to do is I want to remind you we're drawing very lightly. Okay, so we're going to hold our pencil towards the end and you're going to watch me first and then I'll give you class time to do the next step. I'm looking at the light source right here and there's like a circle and it's very white. So it's really important that we have a very light circle. So I'm going to draw it lightly and pay attention to how I do it. I'm going to lightly draw a little circle right here, very lightly. Now it's your turn. So I kind of practice the motion and I barely graze the paper with my pencil. Draw lightly. Light till it's right. I'm going to clear the poll. If you could go ahead and let me know when you're done. Only 13 of you? All we did is lightly draw. We don't want to have to erase. So we always draw lightly. If it's not perfect, you just kind of lightly draw it until it is perfect. But if you do it lightly, you never have to erase an art. So that's really important. We shouldn't have to depend on an eraser to draw lightly. We should practice holding our pencil lightly like it's about to fall out of our hand and barely graze the paper. Okay, looks like we have a good amount of people done. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next step. We're going to draw a slightly larger circle connecting from that upper left. And it's not a perfect circle. It's not dead center. It goes along with that left corner where this light is hitting. And go ahead and draw a little arrow here too. The light is hitting. Boy, is my chair squeaky. I'm sorry. And you know what? I'm going to draw another one from that same area. I went too dark. I gotta hold my pencil right. So I did 1, 2, 3 curves, all starting from the same point here. I'm going to clear the poll. If you can let me know when you're done. Looks like we're waiting on 15 people. Now, I personally like to do the darks first because I feel like it really helps me understand where the shading is of everything else. When I look at this image here, I notice this side right here from this area right here where it touches to here where my pencil is, that's fairly dark. So I'm going to turn my paper around. This gets a little tricky. So are we all ready? Because I see, let me see how many people left here. I don't want to demo this and you fall behind. Okay, we got to get them out. I can't curve my hand very well to do the side right here. So I'm going to turn my paper like this and go ahead and turn your paper. If you're left-handed, I'm sorry. I'm not left-handed, so I don't know how to demonstrate this. I'm just going to kind of follow the curve that I like the most here and do kind of like a sad face to sharpen up the edge, because remember they said light till it's right. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm going to make it nice and curved. To about there. And then I'm going to use the side of my pencil and map out where I want to do my shading. I want to stay away from this line here for now. And I'm going to just kind of go back and forth with the curve of my pencil, the side of my pencil. And I'm rotating my pencil to get some graphite going. Don't get too excessive. I'm kind of curving it this way. You never use the point of your pencil. You always use the side of your pencil. And then I'm going to rotate it back. Now there's a line right here, and I don't want to get that line. I'm trying to kind of dodge that line. I don't want to go past that line. And we're taking our time doing this nice and slow. I'm going to use little circular motions to help me. And we don't want to press too hard. Right up to that pencil area that we mapped out. You need a smooth surface to work on. I'm going to sharpen my pencil again. You always got to have a pencil sharpener handy. And now I'm going to work on this side. I'm able to kind of use my hand properly right here. I'm just kind of sharpening up the edges of my circle. Going back and forth. And I'm trying to stay all the way up to that line here. And I'm going to go around that circle we lightly drew. And I'm trying to make it look like the image on the presentation right here. Using the side of my pencil, circular motions, whatever you feel comfortable with to get that dark kind of mapped out. I'm gonna stop right there. Give you guys some time. I'm gonna get a Q-tip or a piece of tissue paper, like for your nose without the oil. I'm gonna get a Q-tip. Not everybody has a Q-tip. We try to avoid putting our fingers on the pencil, the drawing, the paper, because we have oils on our fingers. It's a last resort. Can I get a feedback on whether I'm going to clear the polls, and see who's ready for the next step? I don't want to jump ahead. Okay, so far I only have a few of you done. One no. 14 done out of the 34. You want to go grab some Q-tips or tissue, even a paper towel, that's fine while you're waiting. I'll be hanging out, just waiting for you guys.
Ms. Brown, are we supposed to draw the arrows?
Yes. Everything I draw, you're supposed to draw. Good question. Uh-oh, trouble's here. Okay, it looks like we're all ready. Fantastic. Except for a few students, which I don't know if they got up and walked away or what's going on. But the majority of you, 32 of you, have been the active ones paying attention. I can mark them absent, I guess. We are going to photograph this at the end anyways, as proof. All right, so now what we're going to do is, like, that was a number 5, I would say, as dark as we could get here. And now we're going to do like between a number 3 and a 4. And we're just going to kind of lightly graze our paper and fill in that circle. We want it to look lighter. We can always go darker, but we can't go lighter. We don't want to use an eraser. So I'm filling in that little circle here as best as I can. I'm practicing my curving. I can move my paper from side to side. But we definitely want it lighter. It can be a little scratchily, liney, but try to do that curve because this is a curved shape. So the more curve you draw, the more realistic it'll look. Now yours might not look exactly like mine. I hope you can get it as close to that as possible without using an eraser. Uh-oh, trouble. Oh, brother. They're a yappy bunch. They often bark at me to be quiet because I woke them from a nap. Must be nice. I cannot escape them. They're driving me crazy. Okay, and now, because it would be so hard to do that lightly with a pencil, I have decided I'm going to use a Q-tip, or you could use a piece of tissue paper around your finger. And I'm going to smooth out the transition line between the two. If you don't have a Q-tip, get one. They're cheap. You can get a bunch of them for like $1. I'm going to go over the the dark first to just kind of blend it in, smooth it out a bit. I might have to go in and make things a little bit darker later. I'm doing little circular motions, just kind of smoothing it out. And then I'm going to start using the leftover graphite to kind of blend between the two. Go over that to make it a little bit more smooth. This should be relaxing to you and enjoyable. Practice makes you perfect. We're practicing. We're all beginners here, except for me. I've done this before. You can rotate your tissue. You can do little circular motions. And now I'm dragging it up to that original circle we first made with the leftover graphite on the Q-tip. Softening it up. Trying to hide the original line. I'm going over the whole thing, just kind of softening. It's very expressive and dramatic. Any questions? You could do this with your finger, but you got oils on your finger, and then it's going to look really smudgy, and then you're going to have little fingerprints all over. So I don't recommend it. You can get a tissue, a Q-tip, a paper towel, a napkin, anything but your finger. I got a bag of 500 of these for $1. Dollar store is my favorite store, the 99. Go ahead and give me a yes when you're done. I'll just be grading over here, multitasking. Okay, almost ready. There's a few stragglers. That's okay. It's hard to do this as a group. 23 of you are done. I'm waiting for about 10 more of you. You can start working on the dark shadow, just kind of filling in all the little white areas and smoothing it out. I like to do circular motions so I have more control along my edges. We're just softening it up. Okay, most of us are done. Great. Now, after you've worked on this shadow here and softened it up, smoothed it out, we are going to talk about the cast shadow. Now, this sun right here, light source, whatever, one light source, it has arrows like my good friend Goodrich was saying. We put arrows on all of this. This is the light bouncing. It bounces off the ball right here and it gradually gets darker the further away it is. Now, this light goes down to the ground and bounces back up. So that's why this is lighter, because the table, light bounces off of it. Light bounces off everyone. Oh, Gizmo. So now I'm just going to softly work on that little edge here, but I still want to see that reflective light here. So I want to keep it soft. I still want it light enough, but I'm just kind of smoothing out the transition, similar to the one that you see on the presentation. That's why I'm doing this side by side. Oh, I feel like this circle looks perfect, so I'm gonna work on that too. Ta-da! Yay, we're almost done, and then we're gonna label this. I'm gonna get my pretend ruler, because I don't have a ruler. So let me know when you're done. I'm gonna clear out the pole. Sorry guys, I gotta sneeze. I have allergies. Pardon me. Okay, so far nobody's ready. No problem. Now a third of the class is done. Now half of you are done. Still waiting for a few more people. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I don't know if they're distracted or what's happening. Yeah, we have most of you. Very good. So everybody's gonna need kind of like a ruler, straight edge, something like that. Because now we're gonna start labeling. Okay. So the best way, I guess, to do this is to just kind of, I'll go first, then I'll give you time. So I'm going to line up my ruler edge, and I want it dead center with the highlight here, and I'm going to draw a little line here because we have a lot drawn. I'm going to make a tiny little arrow point. Your turn. Does anybody have a guess as to what that is? The lightest part of the sphere?
Highlight.
Highlight. Yeah, I was going to say, I bet it's posted on this. Highlight. 8 in your best penmanship. Highlight. The highlight is the number 1 value. So I'm going to put in parentheses, that's the number 1 value. This is number 1. That's the lightest we can go. And that's basically the color of the paper. The cast shadow down here, this is between a 5 to like a 10 value. We only went 1 to 5 here. So I'm going to put that in parentheses down here. 5 to 10 value. So those are the darks. And a matter of fact, I could have got even darker in here. I'm looking at my sphere, comparing it to the other one. And I'm going to go in and get some even darkers in here because I really want it to pop. I'm looking compared to the presentation one. And I can go in and just add a little bit deeper, darker parts. So we're constantly tweaking. You want a full value range when you're doing your letter shading, your artwork shading, doesn't matter. Full value range, lights, mediums, and darks. If you don't have all 3 ingredients, then you are not going to be a successful artist showing dimension. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and do the next one. So we're going to label at the top here. Watch me first. I'm lining it up with the center of this little triangle right here. Little arrow. And that's my light source. You need 1 light source. Don't make it hard. Don't do 2 light sources from 2 different directions. Just like when we were doing the 1 point perspective, just 1 vanishing point, 1 horizon, 1 light source. There is such a thing as 2 light sources, like when you go get your prom pictures or your senior photo. They put lights on you from 2 different directions so that your skin looks perfect, doesn't show the blemishes, doesn't show shadows, makes you look young and gorgeous. And then they also Photoshop and do all kinds of other things to make the image beautiful. The more lighting you have and the type of lighting, the better you're going to look. 1 light source. But for this, we want to see shadows in the value range. Now, are we ready for the next step? I don't want to feel like I'm going too quickly. How do you guys feel? Are we ready for the next step or am I going too fast? Yes, yes. 16 are ready. 18. 21 of you are ready. One person says go faster. It's hard to go fast when half the class isn't done. I'm sorry. You're funny. When the majority is done, then I move on. I'll always post the videos after our class or during our class if you miss something. So for this period, I make the videos. So if you wait patiently, I try to get it ready by student support time. If you turn this in slightly late because you felt like we were going too fast, as long as you get it turned in today, I'll be reasonable with you. Okay? All right. Most of you are done. We're going to go ahead and do our new line. This line is going to go to the cast shadow. So if you look on the presentation, it's this little highlighted area right here. So I want to make sure my arrow is going to go right there. And watch me first. Then I make my little arrow. Pink. And this is called the cast shadow. Ah, my pencil broken. Oh my goodness, it's not called a cast shadow. Oh, I got confused. Reflective shadow. Darn it. My bad. You can cross this out. Reflective. I am so sorry. Shadow. If you have to scribble it out, scribble it out. I'm not mad at you. Oh, goodness. And that's as far as we're going to get today. I'm going to create an assignment for this. Who let the dogs out? Oh my goodness, they're so annoying. But I love them. They hear cars, they're all excited. All right. You can submit that. It's under proof of practice for Friday right here. Take a picture. Submit it. I'm glad we got it done in time. When you're ready to log off and submit your stuff, you can go. Mr. Go Faster. Bye,
Bye, Miss
everyone.
Brown. Have a good day.
Thank you, too.